On cost, chaos, corruption. Nearly 8 months into Donald Trump's second term, the American people feel deep buyer's remorse. As you've seen so many times, Donald Trump's big promises turned out to be just duds. Turns out to be more lies. He seems to lie every day. He doesn't even care. He doesn't even shrug his shoulders. He doesn't show a bit of remorse on his face as he spews out lie after lie after lie. Today, only 37% of people approve the job Donald Trump is doing, according to Gallup. Only 37% of Americans believe the country is headed in the right direction, according to a recent YouGov poll. And an overwhelming number of Americans, including independents and conservatives, despise Donald Trump's big, ugly betrayal. These are not the signs of a golden age. This is Trump malaise, created by three things: higher costs, endless chaos, rampant corruption. Let's talk about cost, the number one thing on Americans' minds. Donald Trump's tariffs have been a national sales tax on the American people. Yale Budget Lab estimated this week that the totality of Donald Trump's tariffs will cost $2,400 this year. $2,400. That's a lot of money. The cost of health care is going to skyrocket. Thanks to the big, ugly bill, as many as 15 million Americans are going to lose their coverage. And even if you don't lose your coverage outright, you're still in great, great danger of paying far more out of pocket, hundreds of dollars more, sometimes even thousands, for health care insurance. And that's because Republicans failed to extend the ACA's premium tax credits, which expire at the end of the year. 24 million Americans will soon get a letter in the mail telling them that their premiums are going to go up in 2026. This letter ain't coming 2 years from now, as they tried, the Republicans, to kick the can down the road and hide this from people. It's coming right now, folks. You're going to get those letters, those increases in the mail. And remember, it's because of Donald Trump and the Republican senators' lack of courage to stand up for you as they bow down to millionaires. If Republicans don't work with Democrats to restore these tax credits, premiums are going to go up by 75%. 5 million Americans will lose their coverage altogether. Let me say that again. If Republicans don't work with Democrats to restore these tax credits, premiums are set to go up by 75%, and 5 million Americans will lose coverage altogether. That is precisely what Donald Trump did to help the billionaire class and the corporate special interests, hurting very grievously American families, so many of them. On chaos. Now, as costs go up for the American people, so does the chaos. It's unending, it's exhausting, it's dangerous. Donald Trump's trade war, total chaos. 1 minute he says yes to tariffs, the next he says yo, after that no, and after that he changes his mind again. And the American people are going to pay a lot more because of these tariffs. What about DOGE? Again, unmitigated chaos and a failure at achieving any real efficiency. DOGE has fired, rehired, and fired everyone from VA workers to medical researchers to U.S. aid workers to even nuclear safety personnel. Incredible. The Social Security Administration is being hollowed out in real time. They don't like Social Security, these right-wing DOGE people. It's a government program, even though it's the most successful government program we've ever had. So they're afraid to just shoot it through the heart. So instead they strangle it. Fewer people answering the phones, fewer people solving the problems when you can't get your check, putting barriers in the way of people applying. They've sent 7,000 staffers packing. Wait times on the phones have gone way up, online services have gone dark, millions of seniors who depend on Social Security have been left anxious and betrayed in the dark. And you can be sure, when that chaos occurs, they'll somehow figure out a way to blame someone else. But they're to blame, they did it. And finally, as this all happens, as Americans pay out of pocket, as chaos keeps Americans distracted day after day after day, what's happening here in Washington with all this cost increase happening, with all this chaos? In addition, unfortunately, it's unprecedented corruption. Never in our lifetimes have we seen a president use the levers of power so transparently to personally enrich himself and his inner circle. That never happened in America. Presidents, Democrats, Republicans, independents, conservatives, liberals, they respected the fact that their office, being in high office, was a guardianship, not to grab and reach and make money and enrich themselves. But that's what Trump is doing regularly. In the past few months, Donald Trump accepted a luxury plane from Qatar to use as Air Force One, and we have no clue as how many hundreds of millions or more in taxpayer dollars will be spent in renovations. You have to renovate it because there could be listening devices and even the little nails and screws in those planes. So you've got to almost take it apart and put it back together. So Donald Trump can have this plane. And the way the deal works, after he leaves office, it goes to his presidential library. Can you imagine a gift like that to a sitting president from a country we have to deal with and gutter, where we've had good and bad relations with all the time? And then that's not all. He turned the south lawn of the White House into a Tesla dealership when he was friendly with Musk. His family is getting rich off crypto schemes, selling access to the White House for profit, personal profit. Truly, the Trump administration is rampant self-dealing at an unprecedented scale. And that turns the stomachs of Americans who believe we're better than that. And there are many millions of us who believe that we are better than what Donald Trump is doing.